Hello and welcome to Cause and Effect. I'm Alex Nunn, and if you think charities should be brilliant places to work, then you're in the right place. So today I wanted to talk to you about that feeling of stuckness that we all sometimes feel and how we can start to introduce reflection into our day or our week to help with this. Because one of the things clients bring to me most often is this feeling of stuckness. Often they feel stuck in the day-to-day, stuck in a way of working that they want to change but aren't sure how, stuck in a role that doesn't make them happy anymore, or stuck in an organisation that they've outgrown. But when you're stuck, it's really hard to know why or how to start changing the situation, even if you know what needs to happen. And so this stuckness often shows up in our work as procrastination, of us working less efficiently or effectively, feeling disconnected from our work, feeling demotivated, sometimes as a loss of confidence or feelings of guilt or anxiety or self-blame. And it can create a pattern of overcommitting and pushing through, trying to find the next quiet period that never quite arrives to catch up, or to compensate for what you see as not showing up. One of the most common things we're told to do to shift this pattern is to plan time for strategic thinking and reflection. But if you manage to protect that time, what would you actually do with it? And before we come to that, I think it's really important to think about why reflection matters. So when we prioritise taking time to reflect, it can feel counterproductive when we've got so much to do. But actually, taking that time can be really powerful for us. It starts to help us break that cycle of reactive work, that feeling of constant firefighting. And also it helps us see what we've actually achieved rather than only seeing all of the things that are still on our to-do list, all the things that still need to be done. It can help us consider how we can work more effectively, and it helps us notice the thoughts and the feelings that might be keeping us stuck in this cycle in the first place. So by creating that distance, you start to see your work in a more balanced and realistic way, which enables you to make better decisions, both in terms of how you're going to spend your time, what you're going to prioritise, and when it's time to think about you and your needs as well. And once you're making time for reflection at the end of your day or week, you can naturally start to bring it more into your day to day, and it becomes easier to pause and think in the moment instead of react and respond. So we start to break that cycle of working automatically, working on autopilot, or what some people describe as firefighting. And it also helps us to learn faster and helps us to prevent repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Over time, this really builds what we might think of as a growth mindset, and it can rebuild your motivation and your confidence when those might have taken a hit because of that feeling of stuckness. And because reflection helps you process what's happened rather than simply carrying it forward unprocessed, it supports your resilience too. But I know for lots of people, they feel like they're really short on time and there's no time for this. So if that's you, we're going to think about where you can start. So when you eventually stop, use that time you've prioritised. It's really hard to know what to think about, what to write about if you prefer to reflect through journaling, which is how you start that process. So I wanted to share with you 10 questions that can really help you reflect at the end of your day or the end of your week. My recommendation is really to start small. Give yourself 10-15 minutes and just pick one or two questions to begin with. And I would say as well, make sure you start with things which are positive, things which have gone well. There's really good learning we can take from those sorts of situations. So here we go. Number one, what have you achieved this week and what did you do to make that happen? 2, what are you most proud of this week? 3, What didn't you get to that you wish you had, and what got in the way? 4. What gave you the most energy this week, and what gave you the least? 5. What have you been avoiding? 6. What sort of leader have you been this week? 7. How might you be limiting your team's growth or development? 8. What work needs your focus or attention right now? 9. How can you bring more joy to your work? And 10. What can you do differently next week as a result? You don't need to answer all 10 every time. Like I say, pick the ones that speak to you, that feel most useful, and let the practice build from there. Gradually, over time, you'll find questions beyond these ones which help you, and you'll find a natural rhythm to your practice. So that's it for today, just a short episode. If you liked this one, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with somebody you think needs to hear this. And if you think I might be able to help you or your organisation, do get in touch. See you next week. Bye for now.